The rest of the story. Blanche and Ed Rudolph already had 4 children. One more, Ed said, and the family would have to look for a larger house. June 23, 1940 came, and that one more, a baby girl. They named her Wilma. Shortly thereafter, the retired railroad porter and his brood moved to Clarksville, Tennessee. There they rented a red frame cottage on Kellogg Street. Little Wilma was 4 when the tragedy struck. Her parents knew she was sick, but they had no idea with what or how badly. A local doctor diagnosed the compound illness, double pneumonia and scarlet fever. Given the proper medication and a nice long rest, he said the child would be fine. But as the days and the weeks passed, it became evident that little Wilma would not be fine. In fact, long after the fever had passed, the little girl still could not move her left leg. Wilma's frantic parents took her to specialists at Meharry Medical College, Nashville, 45 miles away. The prognosis was not good. This happens sometimes, the Rudolphs were told. The doctors gave it a long, strange-sounding name. Blanche and Ed did not care what it was called. They wanted to know, would their daughter ever walk again? One of the specialists shrugged. He would make no promises. And yet, without daily therapeutic massage, the child would almost certainly remain crippled for the rest of her life. So the Rudolph family became determined. If daily massage was little Wilma's only hope, then they would make a concerted effort to provide her with that therapy. Now, Blanche was a professional housekeeper. She had only one day off a week, but she reserved that day to drive Wilma to Nashville for weekly heat and hydrotherapy at Meharry Clinic. It was a 90-mile round trip, by the way. And each evening for hours, Blanche would massage Wilma's left leg. Even after the little girl had fallen asleep, Mother would sit there continuing the massaging. Daddy and the other children were also taught the techniques of therapeutic massage. And before long, Wilma was receiving treatments 4 and 5 and 6 times a day. And then, one day, it was 4 years later, Wilma is now 8, and she's ready to relearn how to walk. She would need a specially reinforced high-top left shoe to do it. But at least she had been given a chance to walk again. Thanks to the devotion of her family, the little girl gradually regained the use of her left leg. And she did learn to walk. 3 years later, she was still wearing that clumsy orthopedic shoe, but she was walking. And for that privilege, she would gladly have worn the cumbersome device forever. Sports history recalls an uncommon black athlete, a record-smashing runner named Wilma Rudolph, who in 1960 became the first American woman to win 3 Olympic gold medals in track. 3 of them. Upon her triumphant return to the United States, she, the world's fastest female, told reporters only this, that she was grateful to her family for having made it all possible. Everybody's thought what a polite thing to say. But few of them knew what you now know. The rest of the story.
And now the rest of the story. Wilma was born prematurely on June 23, 1940. She weighed just 4.5 pounds at birth. She was the 20th of 22 children. Wow, 22 children. As a child, Wilma suffered several illnesses, including pneumonia, scarlet fever, and, as Mr. Harvey explained, infantile paralysis when she was just 5 years old due to poliovirus. Wilma's family lived in Clarksville, Tennessee. Wilma and her mother made weekly trips by bus from Clarksville to Nashville, a trip of about 50 miles one way, to visit doctors. She wore the leg brace and a special orthopedic shoe on her left leg and foot until she was 12 years old when, due to medical treatments and the massage therapy by her family 4 times a day, Wilma slowly regained the ability to walk. When she was in the 8th grade, Wilma began competing in basketball and track. In her sophomore year, she set a new shot record for high school girls basketball. She was so quick on the court that her coach nicknamed her Skeeter. In that same year, Tennessee State University track and field coach Ed Temple saw Wilma on the court and knew she had natural talent. He invited Wilma to attend his summer training program at the university. Following the training program, Wilma competed in 9 events in an amateur track meet in Philadelphia. Wilma, who less than 5 years earlier was unable to walk at all, won all 9 events. When Wilma was 16, she qualified to compete in the 1956 Summer Olympics in Melbourne, Australia. She was the youngest member of the U.S. Olympic team. Wilma and her 3 teammates won the bronze medal for the 100-meter relay and matched the world record time of 44.9 seconds. Wilma's determination to dominate in the 1960 Olympics was only surpassed by her earlier determination just to walk. While competing in the 200-meter dash in the U.S. Olympic track and field trials to determine if she was good enough to compete in the 1960 Olympics, Wilma set a new world record that was unbroken for 8 years. She also qualified for the 100-meter dash and the 4-person 100-meter relay. As Mr. Harvey explained, Wilma became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in the same year. Because of these 3 wins, Wilma was referred to as the fastest woman in history. What can we learn from Wilma? Wilma and her family never accepted that Wilma would never walk again, and look how it turned out for her. We all have things in our lives that try to keep us down or hold us back, but we need to be like Wilma. Wilma and her family had faith and never gave up. It's always easier to give up than to keep fighting, but we must have faith in ourselves when no one else has faith in us. We must keep fighting, especially when it looks like we're down for the count. So please pass these words on to someone who needs to hear them. Let them know that there are a lot of people out here who have faith in them. I'm Brad Dison. Thank you very much for watching, and as Paul Harvey would say, good day.